Ann McGlynn on the Loose TV, and I am here at the Watchung Art Center in Watchung, New Jersey, and I am standing next to the one and only Mark Romanowski. Hi, Mark. How are you?
Fine, Ann. How are yourself?
I'm doing great. And you are teaching at the Ducre School of Arts, correct?
Yes, I am. I've been teaching there for about 15 years now.
Great. And could you tell us a little bit about yourself? Because for people that may not know you, I'm sure they'd be interested to find out all about you.
I'm a full-time, at this stage of my life, I'll say I'm a painter, I'm an artist. When I first started my career, I was an illustrator, which means I did book covers and advertising posters and things like that. I'm a full-time artist that teaches on the side, but now I call myself more of a painter. The way the market is now, I'm trying to break into some gallery art. I'm trying to veer a little bit more from publishing, so I don't want to just classify myself as an illustrator.
And you are teaching at the Ducre School of Art. How long has this school been in place?
The school, I believe, is on their, Frank's going to kill me for not knowing this, I'm going to say they're on their 80th year. It was a monumental year, either this year or last year. It actually is the oldest nonprofit art school in New Jersey. We kind of jokingly jest that it's a diamond in the rough. It's one of the best art institutions in New Jersey, but unfortunately, due to the advertising budget, so many people are just not aware that it's there.
And you're teaching there on a full-time basis or a part-time basis?
I teach part-time. I do my art full-time, and I teach all day Fridays there. I teach a acrylic painting class, an introduction to fantasy art class, and a picture-making class.
Okay, and of course we are standing in front of one of your beautiful pieces. Could you tell us about that?
Sure. Obviously, the one down below is one of my fantasy pieces. It's just a typical dragon. You know, if you had special glasses you could put on, and you could see me sitting at an easel, you would just see a 10-year-old kid that's just trying to get it right. And this is the stuff I grew up on. It's dragons, it's wizards, it's superheroes. It's the stuff I love, and I paint realistically. I just choose to work in that subject matter because it's the stuff I grew up on. And then recently I've been trying to make a move into some gallery art, and I've been dabbling with spirituality. By no means am I calling the Bible fantasy, but it's just a natural progression. It's figurative, it's epic stories, it's good versus evil. It was just a natural progression to move in that way.
And you've done some other more popular work in New York City and stuff with The Hobbit, am I correct?
I have not personally. I've worked with Greg and Tim Hildebrandt, were major influences of mine. Greg and Tim Hildebrandt were twin brothers, and in the 70s they were world famous for doing the Lord of the Rings calendars. And then several years back they hired me as their first ever assistant, and I would ghost with them, and one of the projects that we worked on was some new Hobbit stuff that they were working on.
That's wonderful, and I love The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. I'm a great fan. Tell me about this movie. You're going to be in a couple of movies that you guys are working on?
Yeah, I'm working with John Fazio. We're going to do a movie hopefully this year. It's one of my goals. It was just see, I don't believe in coincidence. It was synchronicity that just put John and I together. I've always wanted to do a book on creativity and the mysticism of creativity. You know, I firmly believe that it's not something you're born with. It's a learnable and teachable skill, but there seems to be some type of magic people conceive it's something you have or you don't have. So John and I are going to do a video taking a look at the essence of what drives creativity, how do you teach, or if you can teach creativity and things like that.
So that's wonderful. How can people get in touch with you?
You can visit my website, www.markromanowski.com, or you could always call the school, and they can get in touch with me that way.
One more question before I let you go. What inspired you to become an artist?
You know, how much time do we have? My career was a long, convoluted one. You know, I have to credit my mother and father. They never, ever told me that this was not possible. They never bothered putting that thought in my head about the starving artist and getting a real job. My father encouraged me to go to school when I was young, one way or the other, even if it was just a trade school. I gravitated towards art school, and then my last year of art school, I realized that, you know, I had to stop just living in the moment and started to think about a future. And ironically, my last year of school is when I got really serious about my career. And once I committed to it, it was definitely something that was inside of me that had to come out.
Is the artist world, is it very competitive? And as far as, you know, your teaching, what do you see? Can you give me any examples of a growing desire for artists?
Sure. You know, it's an interesting question. Is the art world competitive? Yes. This answer is not going to make sense. It's shrinking and expanding at the same time. You know, when I did start in this field, there was a conversation about getting a real job, and then this was play, but you know, there's no job security anywhere right now. So I think if you're going to make a living, you have just as much of a chance to making a living at the arts, following your passion now, than you would doing a 9-to-5 job. The other thing, you know, the computer is in one sense has taken away a lot of jobs, but it also has given opportunities. I mean, I could do a painting and post it online, and then it could be seen around the world in a matter of minutes. I mean, that's a marketing tool that was never there before. So it's, as much as it's taking away some jobs in a practical sense, it has created a lot of new avenues to explore.
And for people to be able to see your artwork, once again, could you give out your website? And are you on Facebook as well?
Sure. Yes, I am on Facebook. It's Mark Romanowski, Romanoski. And then my website is, I'm trying to think, is www.mark-romanowski.com.
Thank you so much, Mark. It was such a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you very much.
Ann McGlynn on the Loose TV. Hi, I'm standing next to Christine Mishka, correct? And she is one of the exhibitors here at the Watchung Art Center. Nice to meet you, Christine.
Same, nice to meet you.
And tell me about your artwork that you have displayed here.
At today's show, I have several pieces. I have a watercolor. I also have an acrylic and a life drawing. I am an instructor at Ducray, and I teach life drawing, so I wanted to make sure I had something that represented what I taught. It's a figurative piece that I work in. It is the medium is Kantian charcoal on charcoal paper. I love the figure, and one of the things I try to help the students here is to be able to render and draw and see the figure better.
And what is your exact affiliation with the Ducray School?
I teach there, and I also help with some of the placement of the students, trying to get them some positions after they graduate, and maybe try to get them some work while they are still students at the school. So I kind of also help in the office, whatever Frank, our director, needs. We all pull together and do various things to help with the school fundraising situations, and then just trying to get Ducray's name out there.
Are there a lot of professional artists here today and emerging artists as well?
There are. A lot of the pieces here are all from the teachers, and they're all working artists. Most of us only work maybe 1 or 2 days a week because we teach. We do our work the rest of the week. So there are illustrators here, there's fine artists here, there's graphic designers here. So we try to impart what we learn in the real world to our students. And in the show here, there are several current Ducray students who have work here. So we try to help mentor them and help try to get them to get their pieces up to speed, try to get their portfolios together, try to get them used to being in the limelight, so to speak, or try to get them to be a little bit more confident when they go out there to try to get their works.
What inspired you to become an artist?
Started when I was really young. It pretty much started, I would get projects as a little kid, and they had an art component along with the, academic. I always excelled at the art part of it. And then as I got a little bit older, I used to take my mom's old college English lit books, and I just was fascinated by them, and I immediately went and illustrated them, not knowing that that was a real thing to do. I just was inspired by the words or music, and that just escalated as I got older. And then I got to, going to bookstores and record stores. I'd buy the album covers. I would look who did the illustrations on book covers, and that's pretty much what sparked me to want to do this as a living and create art and just do all sorts of wonderful things.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what advice do you have for emerging artists? I have a granddaughter, actually, a 10-year-old granddaughter. Her name is Anaya. What advice could you give to her?
I would tell her she has to be patient and to be really, really proud of what she does, and not try to push and try to be too fast. I find a lot of my students want to be able to do things quickly, and they don't put the time that you need to put into your work. Take your classes, just really, really study, and just keep drawing in your sketchbook and paint, and don't give up.
That she does. She has so many beautiful drawings. Thank you so much. Now, could you please give our viewers some information as to where they can connect with you?
You can connect with me either at Ducray School of Art. We're located at 1030 Central Ave in Plainfield, New Jersey. The school's phone number is 908-757-7171. I have my own website, which is christinemishka.com. They can always email me there. if they have any questions or comments, and I'll be happy to talk to them or field any questions anybody might have.
And I always ask the $6 million question, are you on Facebook?
Yes, I am. I'm
wonderful. Thank you so much, Christine.
Oh.
Emma Glenn on the Loose TV. I'm standing here next to Peter Ambush. Peter Ambush, what a pleasure to meet you.
Well, nice to meet you.
I'm looking at all your beautiful artwork, and there's one huge wall of your artwork, and then we're standing in front of some of your artwork.
Right.
Could you please tell us about your artwork? What type of art do you do?
Well, mostly it's portrait and figurative work. I work with an airbrush, and most of the paintings are done in straight airbrush. But a lot of them are more spiritual based, but they vary.
Spiritual meaning, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, well, my background, I'm a Christian, so a lot of my work kind of is more in that direction. Some are based on religious scriptures or different events that, different things that...
I'm liking you more and more.
Well, thank you.
Wow. You've just ambushed my heart, Peter Ambush. So are there different levels of your airbrush that you involve yourself with?
Not necessarily. I mean, most of it is photorealistic, so I mean, some people use it a little bit less detailed, but a lot of my stuff looks more like photographs, so I've always kind of gravitated towards making them look that way. Sometimes it gets me in trouble because people don't understand that they're actually paintings.
There's one picture in particular over there. It is gorgeous. The woman with the stars flying around her neck. That's amazing. How long did it take you to do that?
That one probably about 12 to 15 hours probably altogether. It's a combination of different things. It's not all airbrush. It's got airbrush incorporated in it. And that one's kind of a spiritual piece also. It's based on the creation, the first day of creation.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been teaching at the Ducray School?
Since 2002, I think, yes. And it's always been airbrush, and then later on, the past couple of years, I've been teaching another class called Mediums and Techniques. And I've been that class is or focused more on using traditional type mediums, but in a non-traditional ways.
Wonderful, wonderful. And where can people get in touch with you so they can find out where you are, who you are, and what you do?
You can always go on my website, www.peterambushart.com.
And one more question.
Yes, sir.
What inspired you to become an artist? Well, actually, two more questions.
Okay.
What inspired you, and what advice would you give to inspiring young artists?
Okay. Well, I got this this question a while ago, and I never knew what inspired me to do artwork. I've been doing it since I was very little. And I found out that my father had done artwork when I was little, and I must have seen him doing it, and that's what kind of made me want to be an artist. As far as young students, I just keep on drawing. Keep on drawing and stay true to what you believe is what you want to do. I mean, sometimes you might want to try and follow the trends, but if there's something that you very specific that you want to do, just stick with it, because that will encompass your passion, and that's what you have to do. You kind of have to keep your passion fired up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Keep working hard. And great advice from another artist that we spoke with. Take your time. Correct?
Your time.
No rushing.
No rushing. No rushing. I work fairly fast, but that's slow for me.
One more time, your website.
www.peterambushart.com.
Thank you so much, Peter. It was a pleasure. I'm standing in between two wonderful emerging artists. Could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Megan Cocho. I am a fine artist at Ducray School of Art.
Wonderful to meet you. And how long have you been attending school?
This is my 4th year. I'll be graduating in May.
4th year. Wow. And what inspired you to become an artist?
I have loved doing art and painting since I was a small child, so it's been something that's kind of been in my blood since I was a kid.
And obviously your parents recognized this gift, correct?
Yes, my parents were very influential and have helped me progress and just pushed me forward. So I've been painting for years and drawing and just keep pushing and creating.
And what type of art are you interested in?
A little bit of everything. I love painting portraits and catching human emotion, but I've recently expanded to still lifes and landscapes. So
that's wonderful. So, and what type of artwork have you already completed?
Right now, I've completed a series I'm working on with another artist. I do charcoal drawings and figures of book studies that I did. And then from figure portraits and still lifes, and been exhibited in a New York Salmagundi Club, multiple shows at Ducre, and a few galleries throughout the country.
Wonderful. I'll get back to you. And could you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Caitlin Munyon. I'm a first-year student at Ducre School of Art.
Okay, pleasure to meet you. And tell us about your art.
I don't have a set mind of what art medium I like to do. I'm pretty much a go-getter. I like to try everything. I like collages. I make collages, graphic design, and illustration.
Does one particular thing inspire you to draw or to paint?
Not really. I've been an artist ever since I could pick up a pencil. I love to draw, and it's kind of an automatic thing. I draw when I don't even recognize I'm drawing. I just love it very much.
And what would you like to do with your art as a career?
Be a graphic artist, maybe. I'm an illustrator. I'm not.
Well, you're still young, so you have plenty of room to figure out exactly what you want to do with your art. And tell us a little bit about the Ducre School of Art.
I love being at Ducre. It is the best school ever. Everyone relates to everyone. I can talk to anyone about anything. Everyone is the same and loves the same thing. I feel so comfortable, and I love it to death.
Is it a very competitive field, do you find?
It is, but at Ducre, I don't feel like I should compete against anybody. Everybody helps each other out, and it's very, very good. And it makes me so comfortable and proud to be an artist.
So you highly recommend the school?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the teachers, tell us about the teachers.
They're amazing. They really know what they're doing. They love to teach, and they love to do what they do. And they're inspiration. They're awesome.
Could you draw me, maybe? Do a portrait of me?
I need some more practice.
Okay, yeah, especially with this face. So, where can we get in touch with you girls? I mean, do you have a website at all yet?
I do. www.megancocha.com or through Ducre School of Art.
Wonderful. So it was a pleasure meeting you both. Very inspiring. And any bit of advice that you want to give to inspiring artists?
Sure, you just keep working and pushing for your dreams. You work hard and it'll eventually come to you. Just enjoy everything you do.
And attend the Ducre School of Art. We have some more wonderful students that attend the Ducre School of Art. And, testing? I'm surrounded by some additional emerging artists, and they all three attend the Ducre School of Art. And I'll start with you. Could you please introduce yourself?
My name is Rachel Watchung, and I'm in my second year at Ducre.
Wonderful, wonderful. And do you have artwork here?
Yes, I do. I have the sketch of the lion face that's over on one of the walls over there, and then I have the leopard coming out of the trees on this wall, and I have my jewelry with me.
Your jewelry, wow. So how long have you been attending the school?
For 2 years now, well, 1.5. We're going into our second semester of the second year, and I have 1 year left, so I'm hoping that I can get all my artwork off the ground by then.
And what type of artwork do you do?
I like to do oil paintings and whatnot, but what my real focus right now is my jewelry. Like, I like working with gloss wax and using the hot iron to sculpt and make my silver and sterling pieces.
Wonderful, wonderful. And could you please introduce yourself?
I'm Dikira Overton, and yeah.
Okay, and you also attend the Ducre School of Art?
Yes, this is my second year going.
And tell us about your artwork, which I know you have some of it displayed here as well. Tell us about it.
Well, here today I have a wild cub, baby tiger cub. I usually use, I love oil painting, and I use gouache a lot. Those are my main, but I also do ceramics and jewelry too. But I love.
It's becoming a very popular thing, and every woman loves jewelry, correct?
Yes, jewelry is really popular.
Wonderful. And tell us about the school real quickly.
The school Well, the school is amazing. You know, anybody from any art level could come there and learn. You could be an art teacher or a famous artist or someone that just wants to learn how to draw, and you could come there and learn, and it's a really good experience.
Now, is the school not necessarily for artists or aspiring artists, but people can just come in? Could it be like a hobby for them?
Yes, there's classes for each class has either Saturday classes or open studios at night that allow people that just want to practice, they could come in and just try it. Yeah.
Wonderful. I'll get back to you. And could you please introduce yourself?
I'm Allie Washington, and I'm a second year at Ducray.
Okay, and what started you wanting to be an artist?
Since I can remember, I've always been drawing. My mom's an artist, and I don't even remember when I started picking it up, so.
And your mom just was steadfast about it. She didn't give up, and she actually, helped you along the way, correct? She didn't discourage you, in other words.
No, not at all. Yeah, she understood perfectly well, what I was into. She actually didn't have any formal training. It was just what she did naturally, and her stuff's amazing. So.
And what does she do? What type of art does your mom do?
I've mostly seen her work in graphite. So she does like photorealism type graphite drawings.
Okay, and tell us about your artwork in particular.
Okay, my artwork is mostly primarily digital. I work a lot in Photoshop, and as far as traditional media goes, I do love pen and ink, and I'm starting to learn gouache a little bit. So that's mostly what I do.
And what advice do you have for aspiring artists?
My advice would be just keep doing it. Whenever you see somebody's work that you think is exponentially better than yours, don't get discouraged by it. Just try to work to that level without actually copying them. Just find your own way and just keep being inspired by everything.
And what in particular would you like to make a career out of? What type of art?
I tend to do comic books. My art is very, I like thick lines and cartoony type feel. I'm into like graffiti art a little bit. I would probably be comfortable as a comic book artist or some kind of even children's book illustrator or something along those lines.
Nice. Wonderful. Any advice you could give anybody?
Just
besides sticking with it. I mean, I did ask you that question already, but any final thoughts?
That's mostly, that's pretty much it. That's what I've been doing all this time, just sticking with it. Explore everything. Try things you don't even like. Things that you're not good at, just try it anyway. You'll learn something from it, and you'll be able to incorporate it in what you do.
And maybe attend the Ducray School of Art, correct?
Yes, exactly.
And how long have you been there?
This is my second year coming up.
Okay, you probably mentioned that as well. Tell us about the teachers.
The teachers are excellent. They're very easy to talk to. Anything you have a question about, they'll give you the one-on-one time you need. They understand you as an individual, so they'll tell you exactly what you need to know.
Do you think everybody is an artist, to some degree?
To some degree, yes. I have a friend who isn't great at drawing, but she makes amazing, she makes costume props. And she wouldn't call herself an artist, but I think her stuff's amazing.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Sorry to cut you off. It was a pleasure being here. I'm standing next to a graduate of the Ducray School of Art. His name is Benjamin Vogler. Hi, Benjamin. How you doing?
Hello. I'm doing quite well, thank you.
Wonderful. And since you're a graduate, maybe you can give us a lot of details about the school, about the teachers, the administrators.
Sure. I really had a great time at Ducray. They taught me a lot. The Dean, Frank, who runs the anatomy classes, is an amazing teacher, and I learned so much from his classes. And
so you would highly recommend other students going there?
Absolutely. The quality of instruction for the extremely low cost of the tuition.
Now, you don't look a day over 17, I'm sorry. And you say you went there, you've attended that school for 4 years, and you're a graduate, correct?
Yes, I am in fact 24.
24 years old. Well, you're still a baby. I have kids that are older than you. So what particular art do you engage in?
I do a variety of different things. I work in oils and acrylics. I do ceramic sculptures.
Did you do a ceramic sculpture of my friend over here? No, just kidding. Wow, that's amazing. And do you do this on a full-time basis?
Yeah, lately I've been getting commissions to do portraits of people as animals. That's a quite popular field, pet portraits.
Wow.
Yeah, people really love their dogs.
I just took my birds to get photographed. We went to a special event at the birdhouse, and it was wonderful. I love art, you know, and I'm glad to see that you're thriving and you're doing well. Is it a very competitive industry, the art industry for you? Do you see that?
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky industry to get into, to market yourself and to get established.
Do you find with the internet that it makes it a little bit easier to get your work out there and have it seen by other people?
It definitely helps. A lot of the commissions I've been getting are because I did a painting of my own dog for my mother as a gift, and it got posted on Facebook, and a lot of people who saw it wanted more.
Wow, so we're on Facebook. Can they see this?
Well, it's just on my family's page right now.
It's on your family's page. You got to get it out there. Do you have a website that people can get in contact with you?
That's
No website yet? Don't worry about it. You're still only 24 years old. You have plenty of time for that.
Something that I've been working on, but it's not quite ready to go to be spread around quite yet.
You're very much an inspiration. You're a little shy, but I see you have Pink Floyd on your shirt, if you don't mind. See Pink Floyd? I mean, that is art in itself. It was such a pleasure speaking with you, Benjamin, and we're looking forward to seeing some of your work. We definitely want to see your work in the future, so get that website going, okay? Yeah. Take care. Ann McGlynn on the Loose TV. I am standing here amongst three lovely ladies. In particular, and I was speaking with you just a little while ago, Dana Barker. You are the PR for the Ducre School of Art. Hi, Dana. How are you?
How are you this evening? I'm so glad you could come out, and thank you for being here.
I'm so glad. The artwork here is just truly amazing. So tell us what you're doing.
I combined talents with Ludmilla here from the Watchung Art Center for this art show. One of the things we're trying to do is get people in our local area excited about being an artist. Art is everywhere in the world. It's something everybody sees every day, and the careers of some of the artists in the local area, people need to really embrace that and understand what it's all about. And by bringing people out here to the Watchung Art Center and showing off the works of all of our faculty member and students, we can actually get the crowd, the general public, excited about what it is to be.
And that is your job after all.
I love it. Yeah.
I mean, and I have found too, I mean, you're right, art is everywhere. I mean, it's in commercials, it's in movies, it's in advertising to every degree and every extent. So it's amazing.
Who are actually doing the work. You know, we see everything on the internet now. It's all visual, but nobody's meeting the real people who are doing the actual work. And to meet them, to see it organically on the walls, to see everything that's going on, to talk to them, to see what their lives are about, it's a whole other dimension. And we're trying to bring some of that back into the community.
Absolutely. Could you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Ludmilla Kalivoda. I'm VP of Visual Arts here at the Watchung Art Center. And I was very lucky to meet Dana from our neighboring town, Plainfield. We are right here in Watchung. And we were discussing how to combine efforts to make the community aware of what we are all about and try to bring art to the local people.
That's wonderful. Thank you. And could you please introduce yourself?
I'm Pamela Singh. I'm the current president of the Watchung Arts Center. And the Watchung Arts Center is a non-profit organization. We have been in Watchung for over 30 years, and our main thrust is to bring art to the community. And also we have performances, we have classes, and that is what we do. We have music in all genres as much as we possibly can, and we are doing this as a service to the community of Watchung. And
where can people get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with us through our website, which is watchungarts.org. And you can also call us at 908-753-0190. Sorry, it took me a little while for the telephone.
Doing better than me. That's wonderful. Such a pleasure to speak with you. So any final thoughts? I mean, it's wonderful that you're getting the word out there. I know that the art field is very, very competitive. What would you say about that to kind of combat that for people who are aspiring to be, you know, to make careers out of being artists?
One of the things about Ducray is that it is an anomaly in the schooling system. It's artist run. There are every teacher on premises is a working professional artist. So those students who come in, they're getting a caliber of sharing that you don't normally get in. Because we're a nonprofit, we also don't gouge them for the money. We have board members, we have a lot of support from the outside. We can really dedicate, our classes are small. We have no more than 15 in a class, so there's a lot of one-on-one interaction with the students. And they get this, they absorb the learning by osmosis. They get out involved in the activities in the local environment, and everything is studio run, so they're constantly working while they're doing the actual learning. And that is a real live, hands-on experience, and it kind of gets them very passionate about what they want to do. We try to get them clicked into it.
Any events coming up?
We do have our 35th annual high school art show where we have 500 entries come in from all over the state. It's high school juniors and seniors, and we had that at the end of February. We also have a spring art show coming up in April, and that is where we actually have students and faculty together, and we have prizes, and then we actually segue some of the artwork into Swain's Art Gallery.
Wonderful. It was such a pleasure speaking with all of you ladies, and good luck to everything. Good luck to the future, and really quickly, a website?
It's www.ducray.edu.
Thank you so much. Take care. Yes. I'm standing next to Frank Filatico. He is the CEO of the Ducray School of Art. Wow, Frank, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you. Thank you for covering our show.
Oh, it's wonderful. I mean, the artwork here is beautiful. We've heard wonderful things about the school. Now, tell us about what you do in particular.
Wow. Well, day to day, a little bit of everything, both as the director and oversee the whole operation of the school. I also teach a couple classes a week for the foundation program in anatomy, and I also teach a sculpture class. And I've been with the school 37 years, first as an instructor, then worked up through the...
You don't look a day over 45.
Thanks, yeah, well, thank you. But it's been a long career. I was a graduate of the school myself well before that, and came back after working in the field for a while to come back to teach part-time and then full-time, and now been worked up through the administration. The school has been around since 1926. It's the oldest private art school in the state of New Jersey. It was founded by Marjorie Van Emberg in 1926 in Plainfield. Later it was acquired by Dudley Ducray in the early 60s, and he then retired, and I took over as director in 1985. So officially I've been the director since 1985.
And you're doing a fantastic job. It is a 501(c)(3) nonprofit school. So it's not like you're sitting back in this big sprawling desk and making lots of money. You're doing a lot of work, you're teaching, and you're creating artists. And tell us about the students. Is there anything in particular you'd like to say about them?
Well, the students who come to Ducray come because of they want a small environment that we have. They want that very personal attention that we're able to afford to give them. All our instructors are all working artists and all part-timers. They're not full-time teachers, but full-time artists. And what they bring is that professionalism, that experience, and that passion for what they teach. And that is then passed on to their students, generation after generation. And what you see here in this exhibition is the culmination of that. They're both instructors, there are alumni represented here, there are even some current students represented in this show. And they're people who are very passionate about what they do. And that passion comes through in their work and in their teaching. The school has a very family environment to it, and we often get alumni come back from literally the last 30 years who come back and visit and bring their families. We have had second generations come through. Matter of fact, at least 3 people that I graduated from Ducray have had children graduate from our program as well. So, and we've had sisters, and we've had brothers, and we've had parents and siblings come.
You sold me. I'm a very reputable and obviously very successful ongoing school, and it has to do with everybody. You, the administrators, the teachers, and I've met and spoken with a lot of the exhibitors here, of whom, are the teachers as well, and it's just very, very inspiring. What you're doing is completely inspiring. So it's a pleasure to meet you.
Well, thank you very much. The school is a very unique place, and we are located right now in maybe 2 miles from where the school first was founded in 1926. Presently, we're located in a historic district of Plainfield. Our main administration building was an 1896 Victorian mansion built for a private attorney, George Strong, who was a Manhattan attorney. After he and his wife passed away, the property was sold to Wardlaw, and it became a private boys' prep school. They had the facility until the early 70s, and then when they moved out, we purchased the property, and it's a beautiful campus. There are 5 acres of grounds, wooded grounds, in a historic area with a beautiful historic building. We recently, last year, was giving both state and national historic registry for the property, and are in the process of raising grant money to restore the building back to its original grandeur.
Wonderful, wonderful. Do you have any events coming up?
Well, in February we have an annual high school student art competition that we've been sponsoring. It's our 35th year. We have exhibited the work of some 20,000 New Jersey high school students over the last 34 years of the show. Last year we had 500 students representing close to 35 New Jersey high schools, both private, parochial, and public schools. And so it's an opportunity for juniors and seniors in high school to exhibit their work and to see their work as it competes or as it stands with other high school students from around.
Thank you so much, Frank. Give us a website.
The Ducray.edu is the website. Very simple. It's a wonderful website, and you get a lot of information. We offer more than 50 different courses in studio art. We have a full jewelry design studio, ceramic studio, stained glass design, photography studios, computer lab and computer design studios, as well as fine arts, painting, drawing, sculpture, pottery. It's a wonderful small place to be.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Frank. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. And I'm standing next to the lovely Leslie Delgeier. Hi, Leslie. Privileged to meet you.
Hi.
I had the opportunity of speaking with you off camera, and I've learned a lot about you. Formerly, you were a student at the Ducray School of Art, correct?
That's correct.
Of course, a graduate. And could you tell us what you do now?
Now I mostly work with endangered species and the environment. So those are my passions. And
you're an artist,
and I'm an artist.
Most importantly,
yes.
And we can't wait to look at your artwork. As a matter of fact, I did, and it's absolutely breathtaking. You work with pastels, correct?
Only pastels. I love how you can get a furry effect with pastels. So that's what I've really spent my whole life doing.
I can't say enough about your artwork. It's just absolutely breathtaking. Now, the Ducray School of Art, you taught there?
I have taught summer classes for the children, but I'm not a regular teacher there. I graduated from Ducray and have been a professional artist ever since.
And what is your position with the school?
I'm the president of the Board of Trustees.
And what exactly does that entail?
A meeting every so often, and we get together and figure out what's the best way to promote the school and how to get the best education for the young people that are coming in today.
Tell us a little more about your artwork. Where is it displayed, and how far have you come along?
Well, I've come a long, long way. when I went to school, it was very difficult for a woman, and now it's a leveled playing field. I've worked for the World Wildlife Fund and Artists for Conservation, which is headquartered in Canada, and I've been very lucky. I have done President Ronald Reagan's dogs. They're in his presidential library in California. So a lot of things just fell into place. And I've been extremely, extremely lucky.
I just tell you, I just can't wait for people to look at your artwork. And where can they go? Do you have a website that they can go to?
You can go to lesliedelgeyer.com. You can Google me, and a lot will come up. There will be a lot of things that come up. I work out of Swain's Gallery in Plainfield, New Jersey, but I'm all over.
Easygoing, all over. Brilliant and beautiful, of course. And your artwork is, once again, I can't say enough about your artwork. It's just truly, truly amazing and beautiful. Are you on Facebook? I always ask that question.
No. I'm trying really hard to limit the amount of time that I spend.
I understand. You have to have your very own producer. You deserve it.
It's very difficult because time-wise, I work on a piece for maybe 6 months sometimes. So it's time sensitive.
And you kind of get into your artwork exactly what you use pastels, obviously. And you were talking about your artwork. There was a piece that you were doing, and you had to kind of buff out the background. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
That's the piece that you might see. It's a mother cheetah with her babies. And I had done the whole piece very tight, very, very tightly done. And when I looked at it, I thought, everything gets lost because it's so detailed. So what I did was I took a cotton ball and I just rubbed the background and it just faded it away. And it became three-dimensional. And I just
And you said you had never done that before. No one has ever really done that before.
I don't think they have. And I just was lucky that it turned out. I didn't demolish the background. It enhanced the background.
Well, what a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for coming on air, and we're looking forward to seeing your artwork in detail. Thank you so much. Take care. God bless.